This video is sponsored by theweedygarden.com. G'day everybody, it's Weedy here again in the Weedy jungle. I'm going to show you the swales and update you on the swales that I made. Remember this series of the swale videos, this three-part series where Jeff Lorden, my permaculture teacher, showed me and you how to build swales. Well, we got them all built in a day with the help of some of my friends. And I would say it's one of the best things I've done here in the Weedy garden.
He's found his pride. Just like us, he's found his tribe. Live and love the feel-good vibe. We live and love the feel-good vibe. That's what we do. That's who we are. That's what we do. That's who we are. We help each other because we are mates. We help each other because we are mates. Like digging swales and fixing gates. Like digging swales and fixing gates. We rely on each other as we are one. We rely on each other as we are one. Because together we can get much more stuff done. Together we can get much more stuff done. That's what we do. That's who we are. That's what we do. That's who we are.
Can you notice how quiet it is now? Because the temperature has cooled down here up in the Weedy garden. So the cicadas, they're not making as much noise at all. So welcome back to a bit of peace and quiet here in the Weedy garden. And just so you know, I don't use worm castings and my worm juice, I don't use down here in the swales. I use that only up in my vegetable garden. But I'll show you my vegetable garden later. But I use cow manure. And sometimes there's nice little mushrooms that come in the journey from next door and land right on my swales here. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about what a swale is and how they're so beneficial for my garden up here on the hill. And I'll tell you how I feed the trees in my swales. So welcome to another episode of Weedy's Garden Walkabout. Little series I'm doing, which is a walkabout from one end of my garden to the other. And I haven't come very far from this end actually, but let's go on this journey about swales. I want to show you my swales, but I want to try and help you understand what a swale is. If you can look at this terrain, I'm standing on the side of a hill. You can see it's sloping down here, right? If I didn't have the swales, right, so when it rained, you know what's going to happen? All that water is just going to hit the ground and it's going to flow downhill. What we did is we did some digging, and what we do is we get this level line first of all. That's really important. But you can see how I did that on the video about how I make it. This is not a video about how to make swales. It is a video to show you how well the swales are working. So this trench all along here, that's level and that's on contour. If you don't know what that means, then just look at that video series. And so what happens now is the water comes down the hill and it falls into this ditch. And this bankman here stops it because we've dug out this soil here and put that topsoil, because this is all topsoil, and we dug down into the topsoil and we put that topsoil on top of the topsoil that's already there. So we've doubled the height of the topsoil. And what happens when it rains, the water comes down and hits this trench, the water stops flowing down the hill, guys. It gets stopped in the swales, right? And that's the good thing, because then that slows down the water, and the water then, instead of running down the hill, it goes in here. and then it sinks down underneath the mound, and because you have these trees on top of the mound, the roots are just going down, feeding on all that water, just slowly going past the roots. And another good thing with swales is that it also can stop your nutrients flowing away down the hill. And what I mean by that is every year or so I feed my swales, I feed my plants, and like I said before, I feed them with wood chips or cow manure or chicken manure, or even if it's a chop and drop situation. What I mean by chop and drop is, like, chop and drop means when you've got, see, I've got a mango tree here, right? It's a little Thai mango tree, a Thai dwarf species, and this one here, this is pigeon pea. Pigeon pea is a nitrogen fixer. It's a tree that grows really quickly. It grows so quickly, I chop it. Like, I've just chopped it, and you can see all these little new shoots coming out here. That's the new shoots that are coming from what I chopped off earlier, which is all this, right? And so instead of putting wood chips on, I use the natural system. So I've got my pigeon pea producing my wood chips. And I don't have a wood chipper, but I got the fungus, and the fungus is breaking down my wood here. So that's called chop and drop. And so this tree here is really only here to feed this tree while it's growing up, and to shade it from the harsh sun in the summertime when it was little. But also its roots grow down into the swales, and the roots will grow down deep into the soil looking for that water. And when that one is chopped out and dies, then the roots of that one will decompose, and then this little one will find a nice little cavity, a nice already made path down to the water. So there's a few reasons why you have the support trees. That's why they're called support trees. But anything chopping and dropping is like weeds. You know, just these are weeds. I can't eat any of this. Some of this, in a lot of swales, I've got food in the swales everywhere, but this is a weed. So if I'm ever just weeding in the weedy garden, I put it around my fruit trees, and eventually that'll be what the fruit tree is going to eat. And eventually that's what I'll eat when I eat the mangoes from my mango tree. What I think is really cool is that not so long ago, this was just a bare hill full of weeds and full of grass, and with a little bit of human care and nurturing, I've turned this into a little micro ecosystem full of micro ecosystems, and each one's a little delight. Especially like this one here. I was just talking about chopping and dropping, and I noticed I've got some yummy mint growing over there in my swales. I've got some mangoes coming on. I've got them protected because the bush turkey and the other birds like to eat them, and I like to eat them, and I'm smarter than them, so I've done that. And I've got my beehive right beside. So any day now I'm going to have a mango salad with a little bit of mint on top and some honey on top. I'm going to sit under the shade and I'm going to eat that, and it's just going to bring me so much joy because it's something that I created from a dream that I had. And that dream is wanting to live a nice life where you're living more in harmony with the cycles of life, the cycles of nature, eating food that's grown organically, knowing that it's good for your body, it's good for your mind, and when your body and your mind's all working well, you've got souls, spirit's good, all that. So when I feed the tree, and it's important to note, when I feed the tree, or in other words, put nutrients or chop and drop on the swales, I put it on the uphill side of the swale. So when it rains, the nutrients are all kind of falling down in, and they're going to sink down underneath the swales. I don't put anything on the back end of the swales, because when it rains, the only good that's going to do is the swale down there. It's going to catch that, you see? So when I'm feeding with cow manure or wood chips or chicken manure, I just put it on this side of the tree. So the swale's going to help you retain a lot more of the water that's falling from the sky. Okay, so for those of you who still don't understand the concept of chopping and dropping, watch this. And what you'll need is a pair of these. Okay, they're good for the little ones. And then you'll need a bit bigger ones for the bigger ones. And then you'll need a bigger one for the bigger ones, right? I'm sure you understand. I was lucky to find these on the weedygarden.com, by the way, and they've got lots more as well. So let's start with this. I like to do it little bit by little bit, you know, kind of just work into what's going on. I don't want to chop the whole tree because I kind of like this like shady area that it's creating on the back end of the swales. But I'm having to bend down every time I walk through now So I'll just take off this side. See? That's the chop. And that's the drop. So we're getting towards the end here, and what I do is just work my way in. Oh, time for the big one. See, this will just be, the fungus is there down there going, hey guys, look what's come in, front door. It's almost like when you order pizza or something, it's like someone knocks on the door. That's just what happened to the mycelium down there. Okay, that one looks a bit funny, sticking up by itself. So I'll take that, okay. Chop it up a little bit. The more you chop it up, the better. But the fungus will take care of it eventually. So just pick it up and put it down underneath the avocado tree. So that's better. So now that is supporting my avocado tree. And I'll pull out a bit of grass here from the avocado tree and I'll give it to that little support tree just as a little thank you. Okay, so it's kind of like learning by doing, not being afraid to make mistakes. So I hope you watch the next video. Thanks for watching this one. And we'll take a little tour further up the swale, shall we, on the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Have a nice day and I'll catch you later.